up, real estate family? My name is Mr. W and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, if you are a real estate agent or if you are a real estate broker and you want to achieve two things, okay? If you want to generate more leads and close more deals, then sit back, relax, and listen up, okay? So today what I want to speak about is how to actually convert your leads, right? As a real estate agent or even a broker. Okay, now look, I can talk about getting leads until the sun goes down, because that's really what we do at my agency. But at the end of the day, what I have realized is that I'm seeing a large number of agents and even brokers as well that just struggle to convert these leads into actual deals, okay? Now, obviously, look, there is a long process from, a lead becoming into an actual client of yours, someone who's either a buyer or a seller, right? There is obviously a process and it's quite stringent, and you obviously have to ensure that you require the necessary processes to take place. Things like pre-qualifying them, seeing if they are pre-approved by the mortgage lender, and etc, right? So I guess one of the biggest things that I've noticed most agents are really struggling with is how to actually convert these leads. Because look, at the end of the day, we can get you 1,000 leads, okay? Simple. It's just a matter of looking at your numbers, your cost per lead, and really just doubling down on the budget. That's not the point, okay? And obviously for some of you guys might be like, okay, what is he talking about? Cost per lead, budget. I've actually got videos explaining all of that. All you just have to do is check out my videos and you'll find the answers there. But the purpose of this video today is really how do you actually effectively close these leads, okay, or convert these leads, okay? So in one of my other videos, I do speak about the larger market formula, and essentially what that is in every single market, there are about 4 to 5 types of buyers. You've got your 3%, which are people that are going to buy now. So if they see your ad, or if they see something on the billboard, etc., right? These are the people that are hot buys. These are people that will literally click on your ad and then fill in the form, or they'll even contact you. These are your hot buys, and this is essentially where most of the market crowds to, right? The 3%, okay? Because they obviously want people that are going to take action now, right? And then after that, you've got your 17%. Now your 17% are people that are interested, but they're not like a hot buyer, They still want to find out more information. They still want you to give them a little bit of more value because they don't necessarily know you yet. They want to see if they know, like, and trust you. Because if they know, like, and trust you, then what happens there afterwards is that they actually become a hot buyer, but over time. So it's sort of like you have to raise their interest, So if we had to put on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say that the 3% is literally from a 9 to 10 out of 10, and then the 17% is somewhere around, from a 6.5 all the way to like a 7 to 8. Okay, so you really just have to provide some value, get them to know, like, and trust you to get their interest level at a 10 out of 10. Okay, then the next level is, I think is it 20%? Yes. It's 30%, right? The next level is the 30%ers, okay? Now the 30%ers are the people that know, they are aware, they're cognizant, of a problem, or they're cognizant of a need that they have, right? But they're just not taking action on it, right? I wouldn't necessarily say they're lazy, but it's just something where they are aware of it, but they're just not taking action on it because they don't see it as a priority right now. Okay, so these are people that are on a scale of 10. I'd say these are people from like a 4 to a 5. I'd say 3.5 to like 4 or 5, right? Yeah, 4 to 5 or even 6, right? That's where their interest level is at, because they are aware that they have this issue, or they have this need, or they have this desire, but now I would say that they paralyzed, or they're not taking action because of certain beliefs that they probably have. People obviously have ingrained and internalized beliefs, certain things that obviously block them from getting to where they want to be. Because at the end of the day, you're a real estate agent and you want to get them from where they are right now to where they would like to be, okay? So from their potential, from where they are right now, which is point A, this is essentially where they are in the present moment. But your goal here is to get them to the specific point. So whether it is, getting them a home for their kids and their family, or even maybe their first time buyer, or maybe selling their home because maybe they're going through a divorce, maybe they're moving, or maybe the kids have left home and maybe they want to find or settle down to something smaller. The point is, you want to get them from this point to this point. And what's important is this middle side, okay? The journey, right? So the people around the 30%, those people need the content that you provide, right, to speak to them through that journey, because this journey, right, this is where they necessarily are scared and they're doubtful and they have a lot of fear because they're not sure of how to get from here to here. So you are basically going to hold their hand and get them from point A to point B with your content. Okay, content is very important, especially when it comes to the specific market. And then you've got the bulk, right, which is your 60%. So your 60% is basically those who are ignorant, those who don't care, those are stuck in their ways. Okay, I'm sure you guys have done multiple cold calls with people who you meet, certain sellers who are like, or certain owners, your FSBOs, you get those people who are just like, oh no, I know what I'm doing. I don't need any help. I'm going to get more commission. But you see, here's the thing. Studies have shown that, real estate agents will actually help you get more bang for your buck. Okay? They will actually net more. But that's the thing. Certain real estate agents don't have that kind of information. So when they're speaking to these specific owners, the owners are like, no, I already know what I'm doing. I'm good. I don't need any help. They automatically just hang up on the phone because the real estate agent doesn't understand that that is just an internalized belief that they have, right? They believe that they can do everything by themselves, but it's only those who have been burned before, only those who realize that, damn, I've tried selling a home and nothing's happening, right? It's only the smart and the top real estate agents who actually know that the minute they say, oh no, I know what I'm doing, that's when the sale actually begins, because now, right, this is essentially where you start asking questions, you start qualifying them, you really start getting into their head and making them think about, hey, actually, he's actually bringing up a few good points. But you can only get to that point once you start asking them right questions. So the fact that you are just hanging up instantly the minute they say, no, I'm good, I don't need any help, you're essentially losing a potential client, right? Now, I'm not saying you now need to be pushy and you need to get in their face. And all I'm just saying is that just keep on asking questions. If they say they're good, they know what they're doing, then ask them a question as very simple as, oh, you know what you're doing? Oh, okay, so currently what's your strategy? Then they'll tell you. You get what I'm saying? So now you're opening up, you're opening up that pathway to finding out what are they doing, what is their problem? Because the more questions you ask, the more they essentially going to tell you everything, right? Sales is all about asking the right questions so that you can take their pain points and provide a solution. That is it, right? The person who speaks the least wins when it comes to sales, okay? So that's your larger market formula, okay? Now, here's the thing. The reason why most real estate agents aren't converting is because they don't necessarily know how to speak, right, to the 17%, to the 30%, to the 60%. They've been taught. And look, I really do blame a lot of these big brokerage firms, because at the end of the day, they've been taught to attack that 3%. They may not have been taught in the sense where it's in your face, like, yes, chase the 3%. No, but it's in the trainings that they provide where it's sort of like it's sort of like they, how do I say it? It's sort of like they overtly show them, that this is the market that you need to go after. And because of that overtly language, right, that is the reason why most real estate agents go after the 3%. Now, I'm not saying that 3% doesn't work. It works. But the problem with the 3% is that you have all these people that are targeting them. So now what happens? You have the same offer, you have the same headlines, everything is the same. And guess what? Right? The person who pays the most to acquire customer wins. I've said this in my previous videos. So if you're not going to pay an X amount of dollars to acquire that 3% customer, then you've lost. So why the hell are you wasting your time with them? Okay, but I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to go into a tangent. So the purpose here is that how can you actually start closing more leads, right? How can you actually start converting these leads into, pre-qualified leads? Because that's the step that you need to take. I get this all the time by real estate agents that, when they speak to certain leads, they automatically are in the mindset or in the frame of, okay, I'm going to speak to this lead, and this lead is now going to be a potential client, right? Who is magically qualified, who's magically just going to put in an offer, who's magically going to just go under contract with them. It doesn't work that way, okay? I mean, if that was the case, man, that would be so amazing. We'd have a lot of top agents, we wouldn't have such a high turnover rate. So the first step that you want to start taking in your lead generation process, or even just your sales conversion process, is what are the steps? What steps do you need to take to move forward? A very important step is pre-qualifying, okay? But before you pre-qualify, you need to build rapport, okay? So in order for you to get to the pre-qualifying stage, you need to build rapport, right? And then after you build rapport, you go to pre-qualifying, okay? And then once you pre-qualified them and you're A-okay and you're happy, only then do they convert, okay? Only then do they convert into a qualified prospect, right? Into a qualified client. Okay, this doesn't mean that they're gonna work with you. That doesn't mean that you've already closed the deal. This just basically means that this is someone who's qualified, right? So you're taking this lead, right? Goes into your machine, your lead generating machine, your qualifying machine. They go in, and then they come out as a product. It's sort of like taking an apple, putting it into a machine, right? And it goes through all these processes, and then it comes out as apple juice. So that specific machine, right, is you basically building rapport and qualifying them so that by the time they come out, they are qualified, all right? Now, after the qualification process, that's also another video for another day. But the point that I'm trying to make in this video is that you want to start, right, focusing on building rapport, okay? And you're gonna start asking questions, a lot of questions, but pre-qualifying questions. So the only way you can get to the qualifying point, right, is to build rapport. So how do you build rapport? And I think that's one of the most important things, because I've realized that most real estate agents don't know how to build rapport, okay? And it baffles me because as a real estate agent, you are constantly being in contact with people. Well, let me rather say that you should be, in contact with a lot of people, face-to-face interactions. That's essentially what you should be looking for, right? Always networking, always speaking to people, because that's the best way you can start building up your people skills, right? So what's the problem that I'm seeing right now? A lot of real estate agents just think that they can close deals over the phone, or they can hide behind social media, okay? Now, just because I am an owner of a Facebook advertising lead generation agency doesn't mean that I'm not an advocate for face-to-face connections. You cannot beat face-to-face connections, okay? That's something that is so important, because that builds intrinsic value, that builds rapport, okay? So what are the best skills for you to build rapport? Okay, so I'm actually going to give you 2 books that I want you guys to read, because that's essentially how I actually start learning how to actually build rapport. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with them. So the first book I would say is reading this book by Anthony Robbins. Okay, it's called Unlimited Power. This is essentially going to help you build rapport. So he speaks about mirror and matching. So I'm going to give you an example of what mirror and matching is. So mirror and matching is basically just matching the mannerisms and really the tonality and the body language of your prospect or someone that you're in conversation with. Why? Because it's sort of ingrained in us that if we basically hang out with people that we like. So for example, I'm someone who speaks a lot and speaks fast. I just can't control it, it's who I am, okay? So that basically means, because obviously I've read the book and I understand it, I'm a visual thinker. So every time I'm speaking, I'm visually thinking about what I'm actually going to say. So it's sort of like I'm trying to catch the image and speak at the same time, if you get what I mean. So if I speak with someone who's also a visual thinker and speaks as fast as I do and also uses all these hand gestures, what does that mean? I'm automatically going to build rapport with them, because either that person is smart by mirror and matching what I actually do, or they're exactly the same. But what I can tell you is that I will get along with that person more, and I will know and like that person automatically, because they are basically mirror and matching everything that I do. Okay, it's sort of like if I had to speak to a person who was relaxed, mellow, chilled, really thought about what they said, very touchy-feely person, someone who's in touch with their emotions and really putting emotions into their words, right? Notice how I've just changed my body language, right? Let me actually just show you, just relaxed, calm, being in touch with, my tonality, and how I speak to you, you know, and how I just, you know, just slowly speak to you and put emotion into my words, okay? That again is someone who's completely inverted to what I do, because I'm all in your face and I speak and I get my point across, whereas that person is relaxed. Okay, so if I had to then speak to a potential prospect who was more on the mellow, chilled side of everything, I would speak exactly the same. Okay, and I'd watch their hand movements, I'd watch how they speak, and that's essentially mirror and matching. Okay, that's the best way for you to build rapport, and the best way you can actually find the information is through this book. Okay, Unlimited Power. And then the next book I would say is you should read Awaken the Giant Within. So these are really just good self-improvement and self-help books, because he really teaches you how to build rapport, how to mirror and match. I mean, there's literally, I think it's got over dozens and dozens of, you know, great content and great value that you can learn. But specifically when it comes to building rapport, you want to read that, okay? And then I think I have another book. Okay, so How to Win Friends and Influence People. This one I would say is it literally has to be in every single real estate agent's library. You need to read this book, because this is essentially going to help you. This is essentially going to help you build rapport. You're going to learn how to build rapport with people. You'll be able to learn how to become a good listener. You know, you'll be able to just basically be a person who'll be able to network. You know, you're gonna find multiple ways in how people can like you, and that's essentially what you want. Okay, you want people to know, like, and trust you, so that you can go from the rapport building phase to the qualifying phase. And if they qualify, then they become a qualified prospect. Okay, and then when it comes to sales, I would say anything by this author, Zig Ziglar, you're good to go. So now, right after you are done qualifying, or let me rather say, right after you're done building the rapport, you want to ensure that you start qualifying your prospects. How do you qualify your prospects? By asking as many questions as possible. So let me give you guys a quick example. Okay, so if I am, you know, pre-qualifying a prospect who's going to come on board as a client, first thing I do is we get on a strategy session call. Okay, and what happens in that call is I ask you as many questions as I can to, one, understand you, understand your business, understand your pain points, understand where you want to be, right? So basically what I'm doing here is that I'm gathering as much information as possible about who you are and where you are right now in the present moment. And then what I'm going to be able to see is, will I be able to help you to get from where you want to be right now to where you want to be in the future? You get what I'm saying? So I'm basically going to be, right, your sensei, your mentor, where I'm going to hold your hand, where we go from point A to point B by creating a system, right, that has worked over time, right, where we walk over this thin line, right, this thin layer of line, you know, this thin layer, right, to get to your promised land, because you are afraid or you don't know how to get to this point B. Okay, that's essentially what you want to do. Okay, so you want to ask questions about their pain points, where they want to be, you know, like just things that will help you understand where they are right now and where they want to be. It's as simple as that. So I trust you guys got a lot of value from this. I really wanted this video to just be around 10 minutes, but you know, I got excited, showed you guys a little bit of my books. But at the end of the day, it's all about providing the right value, and I trust you guys got a lot of value from this. If you did, click on the subscribe button as well as clicking on the notification bell, just so that you're notified each and every single time that I upload. As well as if you found massive value in this video, click on the like button. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video.